Here I've got a carton of bubble wrap from Ocean Shores, Nebraska. That's going to make a great unboxing video.
Alias, also known as, it's tough to make a smooth edge from a bunch of square pixels. There are ways to make it better, but nothing so far makes it perfect. Aperture. Like the pupil of an eye, a smaller aperture passes less light. A larger aperture passes more.
Body is simply a camera without the lens. As a rule of thumb, do not say this.
Hey, nice body. Bokeh. Are the background and foreground out of focus? And if so, how pleasing is the effect? That's called bokeh. Sometimes you want it, sometimes not. Crop factor. Sensors come in all sizes, and it's all compared to the image size of 35mm film, which is actually 36mm across and 24mm high. A full-frame sensor is close to that size, so we call it a crop factor of 1. From there, look at the sensor diagonal and compare it to full frame. Like here, the micro four thirds sensor is 1/2 the diagonal of full frame, so its crop factor is 2. Go bigger in full frame and crop factor becomes less than 1. Depth of field, sometimes called depth of focus. So what's in focus, what's out of focus? Technically, best focus only happens at one distance, but acceptable focus, well, that could be a range. If you want a wider range, a smaller aperture can help. If you want tight focus, go with a larger aperture. If you want predictability with dominoes, check this out. Diffraction. If you want to make most of every pixel, diffraction is another thing to keep in mind. Aperture edge effects, wavelength, sensor size. Usually it's a trade-off between depth of field and diffraction fuzziness. Bottom line, a small aperture can help or harm your image. Distortion. Here I'm showing two kinds of distortion. Usually it's not a problem unless you're shooting a building or a cereal box. Keeping straight lines straight, that's what a good lens should do. Or if not, fix it in post. Focal length. Real lenses are complicated, especially zoom lenses. For now, let's take a simple example. Two lenses, same diameter. The more convex lens focuses closer to the sensor and creates a smaller image. Think of a wide-angle lens. The distance between sensor and lens, at the best focus, that's the focal length. And that's not to be confused with the lens diameter, which is totally different.
Glass is a lens without the camera body. Whatever you do, don't say, nice glass.
Macro. If you want moving close, a macro lens or extension tube can help. Personally, I would call it micro focus, but someone else named it first, so macro it is.
Okay, those 7 pixels, they're out of focus.
Straight out of the camera is pretty much what it means. No Photoshop, no Lightroom, Snapseed, Facetune, or Capture One. Vignette. Once in a while you'll see this effect from a wide-angle lens. If you think it looks cool, great. If not, it's easy to fix in post. White balance. It's not obvious until you see it on a screen, but the true color of light changes a lot more than you might think. So if you want your white dog to appear white, check the right box on your camera. So long for now.